very warm welcome to the beautiful Zayed Cricket Stadium. It's a stunning day for a triple header action here in the Abu Dhabi T10. Three massive blockbuster games that are coming up for you today. Our first ball, it's the Bangla Tigers, fresh off a win against a new team this season, the Morrisville Samp Army. Plenty to play for today and so many big names as we've come to expect in cricket's fastest format. Hello and welcome. It's a beautiful day for a game of cricket. Wherever you're joining us from around the world, it's a pleasure to have your company, as it is to have yours. Graham Swat alongside me today. We had the beginning of the comp yesterday, and what were your takeaways from what was a really massive day of action?
Well, we had two great games, and my main takeaway is this is still the fastest format, of course, and it's great to be a batsman. We saw two big totals set by the team batting first, and they absolutely romped the game. So, honestly, moving forward, every team I think is going to win the toss, bat first, try and get that huge total, use the scoreboard pressure and win the tournament.
Yeah, they certainly did. Batting first was key today, and it was the West Indians that came to play in the Abu Dhabi T10. Up first, Evan Lewis of the Bangla Tigers. He was just brilliant, wasn't he?
He was, and the best thing about Evan Lewis for me is he didn't go that hard from the start because the guy at the other end, Monroe, was smacking it, so he just waited and waited for his chance, and then when he kicked off, when he got going, it was just ridiculous hitting, smashing it all over the place, sixes galore, you know, 15, 18, 19 ball, brilliant to watch.
It's really interesting, isn't it? Because no matter what form of cricket it is, you do sometimes need a couple of balls to get your eye in before you can really let loose, which is exactly what he did.
Well, yeah, and we saw some very good players get out first or second ball. Joe Clark hit one of the best cover drives I've ever seen, but was caught extra cover very first ball when he batted. So a lot of people will realise, yeah, one or two balls you can have a little look before you go bananas, because once they go, these batsmen, it's very hard to rein them in.
Oh, it absolutely is. And when we look to the second match of last night, the Deccan Gladiators, Nicholas Pooran leading from the front as captain and holding his bat throughout the innings.
Well, all Nicholas Pooran did was watch Evan Lewis in the first game and thought, I'll copy that method, that works. And he went out again, didn't go crazy from ball one, but as soon as the ball was in his slot, in his area, he just hit it out of the ground. And that was a feature of yesterday, how little these guys are mishitting the ball, because it's not a small ground here in Abu Dhabi. It's a big hit, you have to get good contact, and you have to be a strong lad. And Pooran just smashed it everywhere. And he batted the whole the way through the innings as well. That was very impressive. And they posted a big total and ended up winning, what, 35 runs in 10 overs. That's a massive win.
It was something like 7 sixes. He was just unbelievable. But the wicket, it seemed to be about as paradise yesterday. And have you had a little look at what we can expect for today's match? Because there's a brand new wicket.
Yeah, well, I've been out there to have a look. It looks very, very similar. If anything, it looks like there's slightly less grass. I did ask the groundsman, and he said, no, it's exactly the same. So maybe that's just a trick of the light, because it is during the day today. So it's going to be very good. It's very hard. It's very, very flat. And it looks an absolute dream to bat on. That little bit of grass, if I rub my hand on it, it is slightly grippy. So it may just turn a little. Shamsi turned one a couple of inches yesterday. It was the only ball that turned. But didn't the spinners do well because of that? A no turn and they took wickets.
Oh, no one loves that more than Graham Swan, the spinners coming to play. But we had some pre-match interviews to look forward to today. Of course, it's the first time we're seeing the Morrisville Samp Army, and Rowan Gavaskar caught up with David Miller, a massive signing for them this season.
Yeah, I've got David Miller here with me, part of a new team, Samp Army. David, what's the mood in the camp like?
Yeah, it's pretty good, to be honest with you. As you say, new team, so very excited for all of that. It's kind of difficult to get something going so quickly. So I think as the tournament goes on, we'll sort of nestle into a nice team spirit and as such. It's only been 2 days together, so. But the fortunate thing around the leagues and stuff, you know, a lot of us know each other, playing against each other here and there, and international-wise, so it won't take too long.
No, it won't take too long. As you said, you've played a lot of cricket with a lot of your teammates, but you've played this format before. How different is your preparation from, say, other white ball formats?
I don't think too much, to be honest with you. I mean, as everyone knows, it's pretty quick and a lot more sort of exciting, I would say, because it's only 10 overs. But I suppose just got to really embrace, enjoying, sort of taking the game forward in a positive way, a lot earlier than in T20 cricket. So expect to see a lot of 4s and 6s, I suppose, and a lot of guys having good fun.
Yeah, we're going to expect a lot of 4s and 6s from you, no pressure. But wanted to ask you about matchups. People talk a lot about matchups. How important do you think are matchups in this format?
Yeah, matchups is massive, especially in any format, really. So it's just really taking charge on the whole specific over, looking to get 20 plus, 15 plus. The big overs is what you wanted to look for. But like we know, it's 10 overs, so I suppose everyone says matchups, but the big key is to try and get going from ball one, I reckon.
Yeah, absolutely. David, thank you for talking to us. All the best for the game.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, David Miller certainly is a massive in for our brand new team, the Morrisville Samp Army, that we're seeing in action for the first time today. But the brilliant thing, Swanee, about having a new franchise is you can start from scratch with your squad. As we take a little look at who the Samp Army have recruited for the season, who stands out for you?
Well, obviously Miller there is a major player, and he didn't have a very good World Cup. None of the South Africans did, so they'll be looking to really hit the ground running. And if you look at Henrik Nortje as well in there, I mean, he was over there with him. He'll be desperate to get going. Bas de Leader is a great name to look out for. He was brilliant for Holland in Australia not long ago. So they've got some very, very good players, and none less than Moeen Ali, the skipper. Of course, he's English and he bowls spin, so he's always going to be my favourite player in that team.
Yeah, massive wins for the Samp Army. I'm sure they're going to be very happy with who they've recruited for their team ahead of the Abu Dhabi T10 Season 6. But both teams that batted first yesterday won their game, so I think the toss is going to be of crucial importance in today's matches. A little earlier, Danny Morrison had both of the captains for the toss.
Abu Dhabi T10 Season 6, a balmy little afternoon, and we're going to get proceedings underway with match number 3. David Jukes, our match referee, is alongside understating things and just going to see how things pan out. Nice, and everyone's well behaved. Moeen Ali is here, the Samp Army. Good to see you, sir. And of course, Shakib Al-Hassan with the Tigers. Good win yesterday. Who's got the coin?
Me.
Moeen, good to see you. Towels is called. Won it, and what are you going to do, Shaq?
We'll field first.
Oh, interesting. It's a day game. Does that make a difference?
I don't think it will make difference. Looks to me a very good wicket. Hopefully, we can restrict them.
Yes, one, batting first and going well. Very good win. How do you feel coming into today?
I feel comfortable. I think everyone knows their job, and it's a quick game, so we had to turn up very quickly and prepare for the game today.
You, in terms of your team, not going to change your winning side?
No, we're going with the same team.
Good to see you. Good luck. Mo, you're going to have to bat first on this new pitch. I know you've just arrived. You've played a bit here before, so this looks all right, doesn't it?
Yeah, it looks good. I don't mind. I wasn't actually quite sure what to do, but then don't mind batting first, put score on the board and try and defend it.
Franchise cricket, very different playing nationally, of course. So, again, throwing these guys together, you haven't seen much of them, but the vibe in the squad?
Yeah, it seems to be good. I mean, I think we have a fantastic coach in Lance Clues there, who's obviously who's a top player himself. So he's been top draw, and the boys have been good. So yeah, we're looking forward to it.
I'm looking forward to seeing you play. Good luck.
Thanks, mate.
Cheers. Rightio. News out in the centre as the Tigers win the toss, go up front and bowl.
Tigers have sent in the Morrisville Samp Army to bat. So let's take a look at their playing 11 thanks to Sports Buzz, Swanee.
Yeah, very strong playing 11 from the top. Shimon Hetmeyer, Johnson Charles, very good players. David Miller, Moeen Ali. I mean, this is a good team. And when you look at George Garton, Pretorius, Nortje, I'm looking forward to seeing how quickly Nortje bowls today because he's awesome. Cottrell as well and Raza. Let's see if Cottrell gets that big celebration out, the solution that he does. Evan Lewis, we're going to see him in action for the Bangla Tigers again. Brilliant day yesterday, alongside Munro, Umar Ali, and then Joe Clark. He was out first ball yesterday, but trust me, he can bat. Benny Howe was brilliant with the ball yesterday, and that young lad Ben Cutting, who hit his first 6 of the tournament, he's one of my personal favourites.
I'd like him to get a few more balls this game. I think it might be interesting to see, what people in both sides of the teams can actually bring to the table. It's such a fast and furious format. You do have a lot of opportunity for batters all throughout the order to contribute.
Well, absolutely, and that's where you can afford to go hard early on in your innings. If you do get out, there's a lot more batting depth and talent in the order, so there's no need to go out and take too much time. 1 or 2 balls, yes, have a look, but then you've got license to just go crazy. It's the fastest format, it's the most fun format.
So if you're a spinner and you're playing in this game today, having a look at that wicket, what are you planning to do with those lines and lengths? What do you think is going to be successful on this wicket today?
One thing I loved yesterday was a spinner ball in the 10th over of the innings. And you always think, he's going to get absolutely smashed. But a spinner ball in the last over picked up 2 wickets. And that could be a bit of a joker. Because if people are expecting the ball with pace on, take the pace off, get people caught on the boundary, accept you're going to get hit for a couple of massive sixes, but then pick up the odd wicket. I thought the spinners were brilliant yesterday. Shamsi especially, taking a wicket with his first ball of the tournament. And I think they'll do well again today.
Well, having a look at both of those teams, who do you think comes up trumps today?
That's very hard. You know, we've not seen Morrisville play yet, so I can't say they're favourites. We've seen the Tigers already. They were brilliant yesterday, so Tigers for me.
Well, the game is just about to get underway, so we're going to throw upstairs to our commentators and get match 3 of the Abu Dhabi T10 underway.
Here we are with match 3. The Zayed Cricket Stadium as ever in Abu Dhabi with the T10. This is an exciting triple header. We had a double last night to tee things off, and now the Morrisville Samp Army making their first appearance in Season 6 versus the Bangla Tigers, who are fresh off a very good win in the opening encounter. So we look forward to the Shack and his team, who got up by 19 over the New York Strikers. So Pollard and Co came second. Now we've got Moeen Ali and his crew, who are going to have to go up front and post a total. And you look at Moeen Ali along with David Miller and Shimron Hetmeyer, Johnson Charles, some big names in terms of that batting department. So looking forward to this encounter, given that it is a very early start. When you think about T10, it's under the daylight, natural light, instead of the night sky, and the difference it brings to it. Nick Compton alongside, as I say, interesting, won the toss, wanted to bowl first. I just felt maybe, you know, that runs on the board scenario.
Afternoon, Danny, and afternoon to all our viewers. What a fantastic afternoon, and yes, quite right, I guess it's a fresh pitch. Shakib, they played so well, didn't they? And this is the team that we're looking at. This is the team they're going to be playing against. This is like Hetmeyer and Johnson Charles. New team, David Miller. God, he's been in fantastic franchise form, that's for sure. Moeen Ali, that too. Just come off the victory of a World Cup, so very chilled down in front. I went and had a little chat with him. Caught up with my old teammate, George Garton. He's got the gas. Dwayne Pretorius, good all-rounder. And Heinrich Norkier, well, he's got pace and bounce. So, but there's the main man. Yeah, interesting that he's decided to change his ploy. Maybe he just feels like it's a little bit earlier. His bowling attack, he's got a bit of pace, hasn't he? Maybe get into the opposition early, get the likes of Moeen, who's come off a plane flight, get stuck into him early.
Yes, indeed. And so, of course, they're unchanged, the Bangla Tigers. But this fellow, who got back in the West Indies national side, much to the disappointment of West Indian fans in terms of the ICC T20 World Cup, really did underperform, did the men from the Caribbean, because we all appreciate how gifted they are, and their wonderful tournament that is in the Caribbean of the CPL that has been going for 10 seasons now. This here, the Abu Dhabi T10, is in its 6th season, and it'll be interesting to see how they go about things, given that it's another fresh pitch. We played on pitch number 5 yesterday, and now with the triple header we've got pitch number 7 here at the Zayed, and we're going to have the skipper, who bowled beautifully yesterday evening. But again, very different conditions. I keep saying this because it's still quite warm. We're moving into winter here in the UAE, but it is daylight, and things can be a little subtly different. And so the two captains, they're going to lock horns immediately, and pretty good numbers. I think you look at strike rates, and if you're up at 200, then you're in the game.
Yeah, you won't see much spin, that's for sure. Shakib came on early and was very successful. He just bowled these little left-arm in-drifters that just kind of cramped the right-hander. Of course, he's up against a left-hander, so we didn't see that yesterday. The offside is up. You can see there's a couple of gaps that Moeen Ali will definitely try and pierce on the offside. Perhaps if Shakib gives himself a little bit of width, because I don't expect the ball to come in, but expect him to bowl very straight, try and cramp Moeen. He's got the most languid arms in cricket, very fluent. Here we go. First ball's up.
And they're underway straight away. The Samp Army, 1 for 7 for Shakib from his 2 overs. He was very productive and also taking that responsibility on. Shakib Al-Hassan. Now we're going to have a bit of Johnson Charles, and we all know, if you're a cricket lover of note, then you'll appreciate the way this fellow plays, and he has played a lot of cricket at this venue, and he'll be eyeing up the smaller side for the right-hander, just subtly smaller, and the breeze is taking the ball that way. Take one and be happy, and he is off the mark.
Interesting start. Shakib just taking a little bit of pace off the ball. I think yesterday he was a bit flatter, a bit quicker. Almost used the nighttime sky to skid that ball through the right-hander. He's just taking the pace off. He knows these 2 players love that ball coming on, so bowling nice and straight. No width.
Yeah, when you think of a day game, again, it's just that those stats that get thrown up as opposed to night, and 130 was a good score, given that this is the start for the players. So everyone just a hint of caution, and just subtly see how things go and where the pitch is at in terms of maybe a little bit of moisture in it or not. It's always pretty dry here, but in terms of the grass being left on, helps gather pace on the ball.
That's clean and that's straight. That is a delightful. And it's gone all the way. We've got our first maximum, courtesy of the skipper, Moeen Ali.
Well, you talk about class, you talk about poise. Moeen Ali, he is a delight to watch when he's in full flow. Gives himself a bit of room, establishes the base, and that is high and handsome. And boy, does he love that. Off the plane, and he's got a big one.
1 to go in the first. Should easily get 2, maybe even more. Big boundary out there, but 2 will suffice. So a dozen off the first without loss here. So we're going to have Mustafa. So the ploy here from Shakib is pace off. So starting with the 2 spinners. Can understand that. Quick and flat. Charles at the moment. Happy to deal in singles and rotate it back to his captain Moeen.
Yeah, all about dovetailing, isn't it? One player tends to get off to a bit of flyer, the other one taking his time, and generally how it sort of goes in terms of patterns and rhythms of play. I think sometimes you just get one away early and suddenly you're off and running. Dot balls, like gold dust, isn't it?
Yeah, and we saw that last night, didn't we? And of course, Shakib's so good at that, is getting it full and just getting it to curve a little, even though spinner's opening the bowling. But you see that was very full, the last one. And again, yeah, it's not bad. And you see he's given himself room there, Moeen, and then he realised he's got 2 cast and he couldn't go anywhere.
Yeah, he's got one that's tucked him up, and this one is a little wider, so he's just playing with him at the moment.
Oh, still playing with him. The old delay. And no, let's see what you're going to do, Moeen.
Itching for an offside here, Moeen. Itching to go on the offside. Excellent bowling.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? When you think this format, guys are looking to get up and after you, and you've only got 2 men out. Very big real estate here at Zayed. Boundaries. So this is a very, very good start here from Mustafa. And that'll race away. Backward point, couldn't quite get there. And there's another boundary.
All about the wrists. Excellent wrists, just using the pace. Didn't quite get the ball in the hole like he had done. And Johnson, Charles, well, he doesn't miss out there, does he? Just a bit of that on it. Plenty of room through the offside.
Oh, he's missed out this time, and he knows. Exacerbated with himself. So here we go, 18 after 2 without loss. Well, 2 9s are 18. Now we're going to have Benny Howell. So again, the keeper, Joey Clark, will be standing up. And Howell with all his little intricacies at the crease. Tries to catch it. And it is! First ball from Benny Howell in match 3, and he is successful getting rid of the captain, Moeen Ali.
Uncle Mo's gone early. Didn't want to have a look at Benny Howell. Knows him well, of course. Would have played plenty of cricket against him. They're just checking for that front foot no ball, but I think Mo knows that the long walk awaits him. Does that so often, doesn't he? Benny Howell comes in and I think he's just got behind the line. Yep. Yeah, a little bit of a slide forward, which doesn't matter. So it'll be a fair delivery. Uncle Mo has to depart. Was short. He had a couple of nice strokes, but the captain is gone. A little off-cutter from Benny Howell. Doesn't quite get hold of it. Goes for the maximum in the deep. And easy as you like. So that takes him. He gets for 11. Moeen Ali, it's 18 for 1.
It's Miller time. He's one heck of a talent. A bit of a lull just a few years ago in his career. It's a bit of franchise cricket, and he certainly stepped it up in recent times. Yeah, well, we're going to be inverted commas going to the COVID years. So now you've got Miller in with all his experience and his love for white ball cricket out here, because Munro's got a very comfortable catch in the deep. Moeen wanted to go big, wanted to clear mid-wicket, came second. So Munro with a good sort of 4 or 5 metres in. JC's been cleaned up as well. Lovely little change up again from Benny Howell.
Benny Howell, you beauty. Little floater, just caught the batsman's eye. Thought, I'm going to have a piece of this. And he's done him all ends up. Swing and a miss. Johnson Charles was looking in the crowd somewhere. And Benny Howell, well, he does this time and time again, doesn't he? He's an exciting talent. He's got all the tricks. Johnson Charles, 7. Doesn't really destroy the scorers. It's Samp now 19 for 2.
Here's hitters. Shimron Hetmeyer. It's interesting that he's out in this part of the world, because he didn't make it to the ICC T20 World Cup. but he's certainly here in Abu Dhabi, and he'll be looking to showcase his talents because we know what he's all about. But his compatriot Johnson Charles was rather too early, got very excited, the eyes lit up, but he was way too early with that. Oh, same again. Got to watch out for Benny Howe with his deception of pace. It doesn't arrive, whether it's a cut or a little floater. It was just not there for that first ball.
Bowling off spin, really interesting. There we go.
Oh. Not a bad shout, I reckon.
Yeah, a few offies to the left-hander, bowling off a longer run up to the right-hander. So there's obviously a bit of thinking behind that. He's a thinking cricketer, has to be said. He's got can do it all, really, can't he?
Yeah, just say with the conditions that often are a bit drier, he gets about. Does Benny Howell in terms of franchise cricket with the keeper standing up, a little bit of medium pace off. There's another little curver. So we've had 3, and the Samp Army are 20 for 2. That's it. 2 down early, the Samp Army. Morrisville, rather. Think of New Zealand, Morrisville, Samp Army. We're going to have a bit of slinginess here. Matisha Patarana from Sri Lanka. So let's see what he can produce. We've had pace off and the keeper up for the first 3. Now Joe Clark is standing a long way back. Oh, hello. Joey. Time for wakey. You're not standing up now. You're standing a long way back. And man, that just hummed through. Oof.
Yeah, the slinger malinga, look at that. Just leaves the batter and it climbs in pace, doesn't he? Joey Clark, who's, I have to say, isn't spent every day behind the stumps. So, a wry smile from the young quick. He was good. He was good last night, I have to say. Got it through, didn't he? Got a couple of wickets.
I reckon Clark's taking a stride back. And this one, oh, signal wide. Interesting. Yeah, and that has been a bit of the history here too, Nick. Is that the odd one, when you get it back end of a length, has climbed quickly, and then you're sort of in a similar area, maybe fractionally wider like that one, and it just dies a little. It's a challenge for the batters early on a fresh surface.
Yeah, I think with an action like that, he's going to err on the fuller side more than not, isn't he? Going at the stumps, bowling straight, hoping batsmen will miss it.
Miller's missing it at the moment. So he's got a couple of lefties to deal with here as Patarana.
Yeah, Davey Miller, God, he's been impressive over the last couple of years. Just been watching his career evolve, and you know, he really knows his game now, doesn't he? He gets the timing right. He's won a lot of games, and I think he'll know that if he can get into the latter stages of this 10-over comp, if he can get himself in, he's have a huge chance in the World Cup, but he's here. And he's plinked one for an easy run single.
He had a pretty good time of it there in the CPL in the Caribbean recently, and then he had to leave because of national duty, which was frustrating for Barbados because he really was good. And being a captain and all those things, those cricket cliches of leading from the front, he certainly did. Got a lot of runs, and they were successful while he was there. Not quite the timing that Hetmar wanted, but still, another run to the total.
Yeah, I think if you're facing a guy who bowls a bit slingy and full, you know that bounce is not really going to be the problem. I suppose your scoring areas, you watch him run in here, he's got a nice action, he's athletic, Holds the ball close to him, gathers really well, doesn't he? And then there's the old slinger malinga.
Yeah, it's a tough one, isn't it? Because we've seen a lot of malinga over his career and right through that. The ball is released in front of the umpire. So it's ideal that there's a black top. Yesterday, last night, in fact, a couple of wickets, and he's so good in terms of a bit of change of pace. But I've got to say, Benny Howe, that's a good catch because it was up a long way in the air. And then hitting the stumps, just a hint of tail, just enough. Yeah, there's a change of pace. They're not going to come back on that arm, and then not bad because only 6 from that over, and they're 26 for 2 now. Particularly later on tonight. Mind you, they get lucky, it gets a bit cooler and it skids a bit. So just been pulled back a little bit here. Have the Morrisville Samp Army. We're going at 9s. Now they're down to 6.5s. We're going to have more of Benny Howe to bowl his 2 straight out. Up against Hetmeyer. Thrashing blade. This has gone all the way. Got all of it and some. Beautiful. 6 more.
Width for Hetty. And he likes that, doesn't he? All the way from the Caribbean. This has got a bit of carnival about it. He loved a bit of that, didn't he? Got all of it. First bad ball from Benny Howe, and he deposits that a long way over extra cover.
Just saw that float on that replay down the line, how it just floated there, but he waited long enough. So he's had a couple of deliveries.
Now he's had 6 balls to have a look and see what Howell's about. And it was just too slot from Howell. Now he's gone good there. He's got it full and in the hole. But even so, when he gets that floater right. Here we go. Direct. Yeah, I reckon he's gone. Miller got greedy. Wanted to come back for 2, and I think he knows it. Had to be a direct hit. All the way from the fence, and geez, you love this game. It's CUC and Miller. Back to the pavilion.
Oh, Davey boy, what have you done? You know, he's got some pace. He's one of the best runners in the game, but any cutting. Look at this rifle. Piercing throw, and it's as good as you're going to get. Davey's got absolutely no price. Full-length dive, but he knew immediately that it was game over.
Well, he was backing the throw to be a bit wide. Either the field or the bowler, in fact, had to gather, and he didn't because it was a direct hit from Big BC out of Queensland. Yep, confirmation. See you later, Dave Miller. Start. No, couldn't get underway. He's out for 3. It's now all the 3s. 33 for 3. Benny Howe. Oh, the old French cut. Another day, this goes back onto the poles, and it would have been 2 in a row, but as it is, it's 4 bits.
Hetmeyer just chancing his arm a little bit, getting lucky. This one was an absolute beauty. Just got a bit of nip into the batter there. Lucky to get a bit of bat on it. Goes for 4, but he's got it on a string, has Benny Howe, showing his class, starting to come over the wicket now. There's 3 men on the leg side boundary, so Hetty's got to beat them, and only 2 on the offside.
So, yeah, key junction now because we're coming up to the halfway stage of the innings. Almost had 5. And you've got Pretorius who, long handle, big striker. But really, when you think someone coming in at 5, you'd think a bit more of a flamboyant top order, middle order batter. Because they certainly need some substance here to the Samp Army, given they've now just lost Miller with a run out. Thinking about 2, it won't be there. Field well positioned.
Danny, you start getting a little bit of a read of the pitch. We went down there earlier. It looked a good wicket. Let's see another look at this run out. Davey Miller, a little bit sluggish with the first.
Yes!
He was in trouble halfway down, didn't he? You could see that ball just getting closer to the stumps.
Yeah, I'm hearing you. It's a little dry, and that's always been a bit of the case here. Whilst it looks a little green and it's a new pitch with sort of greenish grass, I just think it's a little dry. We've had 5, and the Samp Army are 41 for 3.
.41 for 3 in the first 5 overs for the Samp Army in their first game in the Abu Dhabi T10 Season 6. And this could be another wicket. It's gone high in the air. It's going to be a very tricky catch. Can he take it? Brilliant.
That's it.
Absolutely brilliant. Ben Cutting never looked in any doubt. Settled himself underneath the high sky up from Pretorius. Boy, this had snow on it, even in Abu Dhabi. Went so high. And look at this Cutting. Makes no mistake. As cool as a cucumber. Punches the air. And that's the 4th wicket that falls for the Samp Army. Pretorius gone for 1. Samp Army 41 for 4. Four down, only 41 on the board. Not the ideal start for Morrisville Samp Army. Bathirana, though, with his Malinga slingers. Ideal start for him. I can tell you, I was down on the ground while he warmed up yesterday. And he bowls flying saucers. They were flying past the man with the mitt. Nearly cleaned me and Aaron Holland up on the boundary. Certainly got some pace, and after 1.2 overs, 5 runs to his name and a wicket. What a display with the ball. Compo still with me. What a catch that was from Ben Cutting, Compo. We'll talk about that in a sec. This one's slayed out on the offside. I've never seen a ball hit higher and taken so casually as the big man, Ben Cutting.
Gee, Swan, great to be on with you again. Yeah, Cutto, he's got some good hands on him. We've just seen a piercing run out from him as well. So the man in the deep, yeah, he makes it look pretty easy, doesn't he?
Yeah, it's the Aussies, you see. Sickening how good they are with their skills.
You say that with...
gritted teeth, yeah. A lot of admiration for our Australian friends. Hope they're getting over their World Cup loss. Oh, good pace. It's straight up in the air, but balloons over the bowler's head. That's a sign that he really has got good pace. Shimon Hetmar's a good player of short pitch bowling. That was way too quick for him.
Yeah, getting a look at this wicket, it's a little bit too paced. 43 for 4. You know, a little bit under the expected run rate, you'd probably say, looking at the games last night and trying to get that total above 120, 115. He sort of feels competitive. So Patharana, he's been excellent, hasn't he? He's got pace, and when he does take pace off, it is very deceptive.
Yes, that slingy action. It's a nightmare if you've not faced it before. You don't know where to look. This one's crunched out on the offside. He's not going to get 4 for it, though. Well picked up in the deep. Hard to feel down there with the sun in your eyes. And you almost get an overthrow after some sloppy work from the bowler.
Yeah, I remember facing Lasith Malinga for the first time, and I remember someone saying to me, pretend he's a left armer. And I thought, what? A left armer? So I remember standing there looking at the umpire as if he was coming in.
Yeah.
Suddenly the ball just disappeared. It was very, very strange to get used to.
You watch the umpire's chest. The hand comes out the umpire's chest rather than out the sight screen. It's very tricky to get used to, especially when he's quick. Patharana's got some pace as well. If it was 70 miles an hour, you could smash it everywhere, but he's got genuine pace, this dude. And this one's straight up in the air again. Mid-off this time, circles around. Oh, and he's dropped it! Clanged it! Cutting couldn't get into this one. The big Afghan instead has right underneath. Clangs it! Goes down.
Oh, you haven't, have you? Had it all the way, seemed in a good position. A little bit of a stutter and straight through the breadbasket.
Never looked like catching that one. Has to trudge off to the boundary. And that was the end of the over. We're 46 for 4 now from 6. So here we go so far. Moeen Ali, the first one to go. Benny Howell again, 2 wickets. Benny Howell's an absolute don at this level in this cricket. Just taking his pace up on his medium paces. Now those 2 wickets. And then Miller got the run out and then the catch.
Of course, Lance Klusner of the Morrisville Samp Army. Now, Lance, you've been here before. There's some familiar faces on the team, but debut season for the Samp Army. How do you see the season shaping up for you guys?
Well, hopefully better than it's going right now. It's a couple of runs short, but yeah, I think everybody kind of resets every year, you know. You retain, 3 or 4 players, but everybody resets. So, we've got some experience that have been here before, but yeah, it's just a whole brand new combination, but that's no excuse. We should be in a better position than we are right now.
Well, talking about better position, well, I have to say both the teams that batted first yesterday actually won. So do you see that could be turning in your favor?
No, I don't. I don't really play too much into what happened on other days. I think we just need to make sure that what we're doing is good. We're a little bit behind the game at the moment, but there's a couple of balls left, so let's see what happens.
And what would you say is the atmosphere in the team in the camp, considering it's the debut season? Bangla won last night, so they're kind of inform already right now. So what do you think you guys have to do different?
Yeah, I think it's always nice to get off to a decent start. I mean, that's good. It just gives your processes that confidence. But I've been to this competition many times before, and it's actually kind of how you finish the tournament is really what counts. So we'll be looking to make a good start, and hopefully we can just continue that momentum.
Well, good luck to the team, and thank you for talking to us.
Thank you.
Lance closing down there. Absolute legend of the game. Boy, would he have liked T10 cricket. This has been crushed over the offside. Not quite got a hold of it, but I think it's going to be enough. Just about. Jake Ball from round the wicket, just giving the batsman some width and opening up that offside.
Yeah, boundary's not exactly coming thick and fast. Not thick and fast enough for the coach, Lance Klusner, but this is a good opportunity. Picks the gap, hits it over, and maybe a little dive from the field that might have sufficed, but much needed boundary.
Yeah, I'm glad you said that. As a batsman, I think every bowler expects a dive from all their fielders. It's nice to hear the batsman saying that as well. I agree with you, Compo. Definitely worth getting your whites dirty.
Well, your
slower
pinks.
ball.
Your pinks.
Your pinks, yeah. Exactly, the stains don't show up as much.
You keep all the shirts that you had over the years, all the teams you played for?
I did. I didn't play too much franchise cricket, else I think my garage could have been full. Looking at the amount of franchises there are worldwide these days, I think if you're Rashid Khan, you're going to need a bigger trophy room, I know that much. How about you? You still got a few up there?
Yeah,
Compo on the back?
Yeah, the Graham Swan signed England shirt, you know.
Don't sell that, that'll be worth a mint one day. Ooh. Smashed! This is going to go all the way. No point looking for that, fielders. Thumps into the fence for a maximum.
Yeah, boom's the word. Boom. Hetty, he's looked in good form. It's a slow wicket, but he's crunched into this one. Biggest side of the boundary into the wind, but for a man of his size and even deception, he really got hold of this one.
Rumsey smashed that. 7 overs gone now. That takes the score on to 59 for 4. That's the power play. Floating power play. In comes one of the fielders. Could this be the time when the Samp Army look to put their foot down a little bit? There's only 4 men inside the circle at the minute. I think the captain's having the rules explained to him. Maybe he didn't read his little tournament booklet before the start of the tournament. Floating power play means another fielder has to come inside the circle. That means there's going to be a change of bowler as well. And the helmet's going off for the batsman and on for the umpire, suggests that a spinner's going to have a do. 4 or 5 men inside the circle on the offside.
Yeah, Mustafa, he bowled the second over of the game. Shakib Al-Hassan, the captain, preferring a bit of pace off. So it's been a ploy that he used yesterday and used it very successfully. He got a wicket early on, and when you've got some big hitters in the back end, you're kind of looking for a bit of pace, aren't you?
So the floating power play means only 2 fielders are allowed outside the fielding circle, and they're at long on and deep mid-wicket as we speak. So you see a big ring of fielders on the offside, happy to concede the single. They're just saying, whatever happens, we do not want to give away a boundary, if at all possible.
Yeah, we saw this in the second over. He bowls these quicker sort of off-spinners that dart in and don't give you too much room. So he's been very tricky.
The field to the left hand is the mirror image, so long on, deep mid-wicket out. The ring of 5 on the offside. Try and bowl a Yorker again. There you go. It doesn't matter what
not normally known for its due in Abu Dhabi, but there may be a bit. Oh, this has been carved away. I dare say this would have been a wide had he left it, Hetmeyer.
But he threw the bat at it. Managed to get a single. Looks to the heavens. Hetmeyer is absolutely gutted with himself, with his decision making. Let that one go, big lad.
Yeah, very impressive from the captain, Shakib. Very impressive from his bowlers. He's marshalled the troops really well. Wouldn't have played a lot of cricket with a guy like Jake Bull, who's, as you say, been injured. Be learning on the job, but he's got the field placings right. All out on the leg side. Last ball.
Shot. Picked up over the offside. It was full, but not quite full enough. Jeanette smashed it to the boundary. Finishes well. 9 overs gone. 81 for 4. Six balls to go. Can they get it to 100? It's 81 for 4. First ball of the over, just goes through to the keeper, and it was a wide. So, score moves on to 82 for 4. This one's gone. It's gone on the leg side. It's going to go for 4. Angled in. It would have been LBW had he missed it, but it was a low full toss and it was picked up. Played very well indeed. One bounce for 4. So 86 for 4 now, moving up towards 100. Certainly is a colourful haircut being sported, and he's going to pick up a wicket as well. Hetmeyer goes for the big smash on the offside, but can't carry the long off fielder. Ryan takes a very comfortable catch.
Hetty, the big wicket, 38 from 21. He's played a good hand. Didn't quite get going. He sort of threatened at times, and he got some of it. But Mustafa doesn't make any mistake, and well, the dangerous Hetty couldn't get that over. Couldn't get the momentum he wanted. He goes for 38. It's now 86 for 5.
So George Garton, Gorgeous George, the new man in. 4 balls to go. They're getting closer to that 100 mark. 14 away. Can they get there? The magic 3 figures. Oh, what a shot this is, first ball. It's got a top edge. It's not going to go all the way, but it's going to bounce away for 4. I've seen some shots first ball of an innings before, but not quite like this. George, you're a hero.
Go on, Garts. He's sort of had enough watching his teammates, and he's thought, I'm going to take matters to own hand. What a shot. First ball.
Actually, very intelligent batting, because third, and backward pointer inside the circle. This one's gone on the offside, he's got it through as well. It's going to be another boundary. What a lovely little cameo this is proving to be. Garton, 2 balls, 2 boundaries.
Got a bit of Lance Klusner about him, hasn't he?
Yes.
There he is, Davey Miller's on his feet thinking, come on guys, 300, let's get to the 100, 3 figures.
No, he's not famous for his batting, Garton, but it's effective. Get his bat through the line. Bit of a dive for the cameras there from the fielder, if we were honest. Oh, he's got the gap again. This could run away. The boys in hot pursuit, though, are going to pull it short. That's 10 in 3 balls. Just what the doctor ordered for the Samp Army. 1 ball to go now. Can they get up to those magic 3 figures? 96 for 5.
Quick turnaround for Gartz, because he'll be probably opening the bowling, won't he? But let's see if he can finish and get a bit of momentum. It'd be great to see them power their way to 100.
Oh, he's gone. Leg side. He's got a hold of it, but has he got enough? Oh, no! Terrible by the man in the deep. Drops the catch, bounces off his shoulder, goes for 4. Jake Ball was the man. Holds his hand up in apology. But that does bring up the 100. The umpires are checking to see if it's 6 or 4. I can tell them from our position it's definitely a 4. But George Garn, take a bow, 14 from 4. Here we go. Through the hands, off the shoulder. Oh, that's going to hurt in the morning. Bounce just short of the Toblerone. So the Samp Army have managed somehow, thanks to that man George Garton, to get up to 100 for 5 from their 10.
Yeah, players walking off. I guess if you're Shakib, you've won the toss and chosen to have a bowl. You'd be pretty happy with that. Joey Clark done a decent, tidy job behind the stumps. He'll be batting pretty soon, but this is a quick break, my Dubai innings break. Yeah, so the players sauntering themselves off, smiles from Shakib and his boys. 100 off 10 overs, Swanee, I think it's pretty gettable.
It's went very well below par, you'd say. Bowling team will be much happier than the batting side. So there we go, the Samp Army. First go in the T10 in Abu Dhabi. Season 6, Moeen Ali with first man to go for 11. Charles, Miller, Hetmeyer and Pretorius all followed. Hetmeyer the only one. Getting a decent score, 38 from 21 for him. Janat, 22 not out from 14. George Garton with a wonderful cameo. Took them up to 100. They lost those 5 wickets in the process.
Yeah, so the partnerships, it was only really Hetmeyer, 45 with Janat, who played a helping hand, but wasn't really the speed and the aggression that we've come to know in T10. No one really took the game by the grip. They never really got going. It was Garton really who showed the batters how to do it. 14 off 4, so he played a little cameo there. And the bowlers as well, they did their job, didn't they? Shakib has led the way, 12 off his first over. Mustafa did an excellent job bowling his quicker off spinners, and Benny Howell, well, he's been excellent. He's always excellent. 2 wickets. Patharana, the youngster, well, he gets better every time, doesn't he? 2 overs, he bowls with pace, he's got good change-ups. Got an important wicket. We got Benny Howell, who was excellent, and Tanvia's with him.
I got Benny Howell from the Bangla Tigers. Benny, you were very economical today, 2 for 17. What worked for you today?
What normally works when I bowl well, it's a lot of change-ups, a lot of different angles. Some days it comes off, some days it doesn't. Today was a good day.
And what's the pitch playing like today?
It's a little bit there for the slower balls, but it's generally pretty good here.
And you guys played last night and of course had a win, and coming back today, what did you do different to prepare so quickly and recover?
Just chill, just relax. Just get out, get mentally prepared and get ready to go. T10, it's short, but it's intense.
And 101 for you guys to win. Ready for it, chaseable target of course.
Yeah, if we bat well, we'll get it down, I think.
Well, good luck today and go well, you guys.
Thank you.
Well, he bowled well. He didn't give us much in that interview, but good on him for talking to us anyway. So here we go. 101 is the target for the Bangla Tigers to win their first 2 games of the Abu Dhabi T10 in Season 6. They've bowled well. Can they do the same with the bat? We'll be back after the break. Welcome back to Abu Dhabi. We've had the first innings of day 2 of the Abu Dhabi T10 Season 6. The Morrisville Samp Army stuck into bat, or elected to bat. Got off to a fairly slow start, losing wickets all the way through. Moeen Ali, Johnson Charles, Miller all went early. Shimon Hetmeyer managed to get 38, 21. Jeanette and Garton at the end. The only other guys to show any flair with the bat. They struggled their way to 100. This is Moeen Ali from the start. Beautiful straight drive for 6. A couple of balls scythed away through the offside. But Benny Howe comes into the attack, does what he always does, picks up wickets. That was the first. And of course, the back of the hand, slower ball, knocks the stumps over. Shimon Hetmeyer had a few lusty blows. Using all his strength, all his might. There's some people you take 2 to, there's some people you don't. Ben Cutting is somebody you don't run to the throw. Wonderful stuff, and then he took this absolute beauty of a high sky catch.
Yeah, he was really in the thick of things, wasn't he, Ben Cutting? Brought his A game on as far as fielding was concerned. But you've got to say, Samp Army will be eventually disappointed with the score they got. I don't think it's quite enough that they've got there. We saw some really good hits all across the park. They had a nice flourish towards the end though, a nice little momentum building last couple of overs, which they shall take into the break. Some excellent shots, especially down the ground. You just get the feeling that if you've lost 5 wickets, you should always try and get a little bit more.
Yeah, absolutely. This is the last over, a wicket falling. Crazy red hair. George Garton came out, what a first ball that was. Reversed it over the top. Smashed on through the offside. 14 his 4 deliveries, including this last ball. Hit away, should have been caught by Jake Ball, should have kept the score down to below 100. Then slipped through the hands, bounced off the shoulder, 1 bounce for 4. So the Samp Army managed to squeeze up to 100. It wasn't a vintage effort with the bat. Who knows whether it's a good total or not? It's a fresh pitch, and we'll only know if it's a good pitch once the Tigers have had their go with the bat.
Well, Hetmaya was the real star of the show as far as the Samp was concerned. 2 4s, 3 6s in his 38. We know what he's capable of, especially down the ground. Such a powerful land. Uses his strength to good effect. Can't look at the Bangla Tigers bowling. You've got to say Mustafa with just 14 runs in his 2 overs was excellent, as was Pathirana. I think Pathirana, star of the show for me. 1 for 10 in 2 overs in a T10 tournament. Those are outstanding numbers.
Yeah, but it was this man, Benny Howe, who picks up wickets year after year in the T10. Change of pace, it looks innocuous. He's very clever. He's got a lot of change-ups. The back of the hand slower ball, off cutters, leg cutters, and when you've got your fielders backing you up like this as well, Ben cutting with an absolute frozen rope of a throw. Uprooted the stump, ran out the danger man Miller. And there is Pathirana. Bowls like Malinga. And happily has the fielders out there who can take the high skiers. Ben cutting, grabbing hold of that one. Another catch in the deep. This is at the end. Got the dance to go with the hair. And Moeen Ali, skipper, what can he do? Try and defend this 100 runs in 10 overs. By no means an easy feat to score 100 off 10, but you'd think with 10 wickets in hand, the Tigers are favourites. Right.
Yeah, I mean, at this stage of the innings, you've got to say the Tigers are favourites. But like you said, they've still got to get to 101. And they still need their batters to go out there, put on a show, and hopefully find some fluency.
Oh, here we go. The big man Hazratullah. We've all seen him in the Afghan shirt, smashing it everywhere. Very, very dangerous player. Very powerful. Square of the wicket on the leg side. Plays that little sort of sweepy pickup shot. Also likes to drive. And once he gets going, very hard to stop. Not very mobile, not very agile between the wickets. So he doesn't mess around running too much.
Yeah, listen, don't bother wasting energy running around when you can hit it out of the park. Just like this man, Evan Lewis. Looked an outstanding touch yesterday. Got a real quick fire. 50, 18 deliveries. Sheldon Cottrell, economy of 10.32, 11 wickets in his T10 career up until now.
We haven't seen Cottrell for a while. Good to see him back. See if we can get that big salute. The army man. He's always very good value on a cricket field. Look out for that. If he takes a wicket, his famous celebration will come out. Bit of swing to start. Perfect timing. This will go for 4. Well, Hazratullah, thank you very much.
Oh, that's a gorgeous shot. Again, no real power, just timing. All timing. No footwork either, as you can see in the replay. He just got his hands in the right position. And the timing was just
sensational.
It really was, Swanee. I mean, just look at that, just a little dab, and it's raced away to the fence.
I'm going to get my mitts on that cricket bat if I can. Oh. The line just changed a bit for this delivery, a bit closer to the stump. Still taking it away from Zazai. And beating him all ends up. Not a position he'll be proud of if he sees the replay.
Yeah, but a dot ball, that's what we're looking at. How important are these dot balls in this format especially?
Smashed over the offside, very full, dug out. And dug out very successfully. 1-2 bounces into the fence. This is how to deal with a new ball.
Well, if the first boundary was all timing, this was all power, all muscle. He has absolutely muscled that over extra cover for 4. Threw his bat at it. Okay, again, very little footwork, but just hand-eye coordination. And just tells you that, listen, if you've got great hand-eye coordination, don't have to worry about footwork.
Oh, this isn't quite as aesthetically pleasing, but it's very effective. Smeared away through the leg side for another 4.
Yeah, no hanging around with Zazai. you know what you're going to get with him. You know that he's always going to be aggressive from word go. He's not going to hang around trying to get his eye in. If it's there in the slot for him to hit first ball, he will do it. 3 boundaries already in this over. Oh, 3 very different. The first one was all class, finesse, elegance. Second was all power. Third was, like you said, agricultural.
And another one. Swatted across the line. With this one straight to the fielder.
Yeah, how would you describe that shot, though?
I'm not sure I can. Agricultural is probably the best term for it. Always wonder where that comes from, the agricultural. Like a farmhand, a cow corner, I don't know. It tends to describe a shot that's not quite in the purest handbook.
But listen, like you said, as long as it's effective, that's all that matters.
Well bowled. Angled in at the toes. This will be a leg bye, I think. It will. So the first over's gone. A good one for the Tigers, chasing 101. 13 without loss. George Garton, the man taking the new ball, really came to town with the bat. Stunning little knock from him at the end of the innings. And a good dot ball to start off. There's been some shape with this new ball, Ryan.
Yes, there has, and like you said, that nice little innings at the back end of the Samp innings will give him a little bit of confidence going into this first over of his.
Yeah, the confidence that comes from that. His first ball, the reverse chip over the 2 close fielders off the seamer. Quite a remarkable start to an innings. Oh my word, this has been absolutely slogged. Straight out of the park, straight out of the middle of the bat. Lands halfway up the bank, and that's a maximum.
Oh, good Lord. Zazai. He's really putting on a show, isn't he? This was outstanding. Again, you have a look at him. No real footwork, but just the hand-eye coordination. Gets that front leg slightly out of the way, throws his bat at it, and my word. It's actually beautiful to watch.
It is. It really is.
I know there'll be a lot of purists saying, oh, listen, what is this? But for me, that is just beautiful to watch.
Well, the power and the time and the speed that ball came off the bat, I can assure you, that was like a tracer bullet. Flew over the deep square leg boundary. And here we go through the offside again, using those wrists. He's found the gap. He'll only get a couple, I'm sure. He's not exactly sprinting between the wickets. But he's shown it's very difficult to bowl at. If you err in length and land it on a length, he'll just slog you over the leg side. You get it too full, he's more than happy to use those wrists to hit you through the offside. Very talented player.
Well, what he's done is he's already sort of got that required rate down to under 10 and over.
Good field placing now. An extra man out on the leg side. Pace taken off the ball from Garton. Yeah, that's right. If you're chasing a total and you need over 10, the sooner you get it down to 8, 7 and over, it's a walk in the park then, you'd think.
Yeah, especially when you've got 10 wickets in hand. This is where you actually can take a bit of a risk, take a bit of a punt, throw your bat around, try and put a little bit more pressure on the bowlers. And he's doing exactly that.
Yeah, you take the wind out of the bowler's sails. And you hope that they'll just give up and say, yeah, fair enough, you've got this one. That's the ideal. The guy at the other end, Evan Lewis, that was his first delivery that he's faced in this innings. He's watched from the other end so far. Looks like he wants to join the party.
Well, look, you know, if you see Zazai batting the way he's batting, you feel you're set as well, and that's exactly what Evan Lewis would have thought. Swing and a miss first up. But that's what you want. You want your batters to be out there, be aggressive from ball 1.
There's been a change in the field after that massive swing. Deep pointers come into the circle. A deep mid wicket's gone out. So the same field that was set for Zazai Set for Lewis now. And this one's over the offside, just where the bowler doesn't want it. I think it's going to be pulled up short of the boundary. Yes, it is. A jog through for a couple. And that brings us to the end of the second over. Tigers 24 without loss. So there we go, 21 from 10 for Zazai. He started off, as we've seen so many times, very aggressive player. 24 without loss for the Tigers. The power play signal has been made. And the bowler for the Samp, Henrik Nokia. Now this boy has got some serious heat, serious gas. You've seen him bowling for South Africa. Seen him playing in the IPL. As quick and as straight as they can come. Wonderful moustache going on at the minute as well. Let's see how he gets on. First outing for the Samp. Smash the offside, just be a single. Now let's go downstairs to Namruta. She's got a special guest for us. Mr. Srisanth, I believe.
So हमारे साथ यहाँ है Srisanth, the rock star of Bangla Tigers. Srisanth, it's your first season of T10. कैसा लग रहा है आपको to be a part of the fast format of cricket?
बहुत ही अच्छा लग रहा है, बहुत ही अच्छा लग रहा है क्योंकि मैंने सोचा नहीं था कि इतनी फास्ट होने वाला है और जैसे कि हमने जो जैसे कल मैच खेले, अरे शुक्रिया अदा करूँगा कि इतना अच्छा एक अपॉर्चुनिटी मिला है ऐसे यंगस्टर्स के साथ, वो भी इतने बड़े शहर में. And it's a complete new format, तो ज़्यादा सोचने के लिए इतना टाइम ही नहीं, जैसे कि टेस्ट मैच हो या इवन T20 में हमें थोड़ा टाइम मिलता है, बट इतना तेज़ है कि कुछ बोल नहीं सकता. तो मज़ा आ रहा है यार, मज़ा आ रहा है. बांग्ला टाइगर्स के साथ तो हमारा टैगलाइन ही हुई है, लेट्स गो हंट.
Absolutely, Srisanth. So बांग्ला टाइगर्स ने कल से जो शुरुआत की है, ऑलरेडी इन लोग ने पूरे धमाके से शुरुआत की है. क्या लगता है आपको आगे चलते हुए कैसे चलने वाला है?
हमारे बैटिंग एज वेल एज बॉलिंग बहुत स्ट्रॉन्ग ही है. मतलब T10 में तो हमेशा कुछ बोल नहीं सकता, मगर मैं तो एक बात तो ज़रूर बोलेंगे क्योंकि जैसे कि हमारे टीम में एटलीस्ट 7 ओपनिंग बैट्समैन और 7 ओपनिंग बॉलर्स हैं, मतलब प्रॉपर. तो मुझे लगता है व्हेन इट कम्स टू द कॉम्पिटिशन लेवल वो 10 ओवर में कुछ बोल नहीं सकता. बट जैसे हमारा एटमॉस्फेयर है, अगर हमारे ऑनर की भी बात किया जाए, सारे लोग जो पूरे सपोर्ट करते हैं, और दैट्स वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. ऐसे शॉर्ट फॉर्मेट में जो फैमिली जैसे रहेंगे, जो मिलजुल के रहेंगे, उसमें बहुत मायने रखते हैं. और हमारी टीम आपने तो देखा होगा, चाहे इंग्लिश हो, बांग्लादेशी हो, पाकिस्तानी हो, इंडियन हो, उनसे कोई फ़र्क नहीं पड़ता. क्रिकेट से फ़र्क है. और हम एक ही होटल पे, मतलब जब क्रिकेट नहीं खेलते तब भी हम बहुत सारे मज़ा करते, तो मज़ा आता है.
Absolutely, Srisanth, and I'm sure जैसे आपने बोला बस मजे में खेलना है, and that is the idea, right?
Absolutely. तो मेरा आइडिया वही है, बट मैं बोलूँगा ना, टूर्नामेंट जीतना है. जैसे कि 2007 वर्ल्ड कप गए थे, जीत पाए. 2011 वर्ल्ड कप खेले थे, जीत पाए. अभी मैं खेलने वाली टीम के साथ हूँ. अगर जब खेलने आएंगे तो शायद मुझे फाइनल में शायद हम जीतने वाले हैं. तो पहला टूर्नामेंट, जो भी पहला टूर्नामेंट मैंने खेला वो जीता है, तो देखो दे देखिए. जैसे मैंने बोला ना, लक की बात किया जाए तो देखिए इतना अच्छा एक शानदार शॉट मारा है. वाह यार, वो भी नोकिया जैसे फास्ट बॉलर को, जो वर्ल्ड कप से जाके हर जगह पे इतना तेज़ डालते हैं. और तेज़ से कोई मतलब नहीं, इधर बहुत सारे जो स्किलफुल उनके आते हैं वही परफॉर्म करेंगे. और दैट्स अ बिगेस्ट चैलेंज है. तो इट्स अ ग्रेट, आई एम जस्ट ग्रेटफुल. श्योर.
थैंक यू सो मच श्री, आपने एकदम एक हीरो जैसे जवाब दिया.
Well, he's absolutely right. It is a challenge, even if you have World Cup experience behind your belt. That last shot, if you saw it, was just ridiculous. A pickup for 6 on a massive boundary. And it's a good time to show you the replay while nothing's happening here. Just have a look at this, kids. Barely any backlift, barely any follow-through. And this has gone about 100 metres.
Yeah, and it just even felt that he didn't really time it as well as he would have liked. It's the pace of Nokia. And that's just flown. That's just flown.
It's honestly, it's lunacy how far that ball's gone. If this is still a bowler's game, Rowan, I don't know. 37 without loss, 1 ball left in this over. Good Yorker to finish it off. So brilliant comeback from Nokia, finish the over. 3 gone now, 37 without loss. So in this chase of 101, the Tigers got off to the perfect start, 37 without loss. Have used their power play though, so it's all about. Can the Samp Army manage to pick up a wicket or two? Just put the handbrake on a little bit. A2Z is the new man to give it a go. Right arm medium fast. We've seen very medium after facing Norkia at the other end. In his day could really get it through. But not many bowlers fast as Norkia.
Yeah, he's something special, Andrew Nokia. But as Srishan was saying, it's a lot of skill required over here.
Oh. Well, that's pitched off the pitch, so it's not even a wide. This one's a no ball, so it's going to be a free hit as well. Pretoria's gone for the slow ball first up. Made a horrible hash of it. And there you go. If it pitches off the cut strip, it's not actually a wide, it's a no ball. So there should be a free hit. It is. That's very well bowled.
Excellent stuff. Just, you know, under pressure, first ball, like you said, not even on the pitch, so it's a free hit, and come back and respond that way. Excellent stuff.
It's the Bangla owners. Just enjoying the way things have started, I'm sure, for their team. And that smashed through the offside. There is a fielder in the deep, so you can see exactly what Samp Army are going to try and do. Keep it wide of Zazai's off stump with three fielders out in the deep. They're just trying to cut off the boundaries, aren't they, Rowan?
Well, look, and, you mentioned boundaries. You look at the first 3 overs, and Samp Army had just 2 boundaries in their first 3. The Tigers have got 6, and that's where the difference lies. At this stage, the Samp Army was 22 for 2. Tigers flying at 39 for no loss. And it's all because of those boundaries, the difference in boundaries.
Yeah. Oh, the batsman looking for a wide. But Pretorius, after that early he's got his radar in order.
Yeah, I think that's a good call from the ump. I know a few umpires would have sort of,
I should say. He's trying to open up the leg side. One fielder who is in is mid-on, so you're not going to get many balls to hit there, you'd think. Nicked and gone. A good catch behind. Pretorius picks up his man by sticking with that wide line. Johnson Charles takes a good diving catch.
Well, and you've got to give credit to Pretorius here, because that first ball wide this is what he was trying to do. Didn't get his radar right, but didn't change his game plan. Stuck.
So the wicket falls, and Joe Clark is the new man. He was out first ball yesterday, played a blazing cover drive, but was caught extra cover by Owen Morgan, his English compatriot. Joe Clark, very fine player, plays for Nottinghamshire Outlaws. Very, very fine batsman in all forms of the game. Very destructive if he gets going. I'm sure, like any batsman, having got out first ball yesterday, he'll be desperate to just get that first run off the blade.
Yeah, just get off the mark. The reason he's there is because Pretorius stuck to his game plan, and it's paid dividends.
Good sharp catch that from Johnson Charles. Very close. See that flew. It's made it look very easy. He's travelling at a decent rate of knots, so he'll be very happy with the glove work. And there is the first run off the blade of this tournament. Joe Clark, sigh of relief all round. Always know a batsman's happiest run is his very first one. If any not, no one likes a naught to their name.
Listen,
don't say the 100th run, because I didn't know that very
listen,
often.
it's from 99. That sense of relief you get when you hit that shot in the gap when you're batting on 98 or 99, and you know you're going to get 200. Nothing beats that.
Well, I had the same sort of relief when I got off the mark, so probably shows the difference in our levels of batsmanship.
Mate, listen, you know, I've heard stories about an excellent little cameo in the Under-19 World Cup final.
I'll dig it out for you later on. Yeah, 22 off 13. They still talk about it, but what we're talking about is Morrisville Samp 100 for 5 after batting first in their 10. Bangla Tigers, even after that great start, you see now 40 for 1 from 4. So 61 required from 6 overs. Samp have managed to drag that run rate back to 10 and over. Cottrell. Every dot ball now will be met with plenty of encouragement from the keeper, noise from the fielders, trying to create a sense of pressure for the batsman.
Yeah, change of pace, just using his experience quite well here, Cottrell. 13 dot balls so far in this innings.
This one smashed down the ground. There is a long on, so it'll only be a single, I'm sure. Yeah, like I said to Compo earlier, time runs out very quickly in this format, in the fastest format. So, we were saying cricket, you think you've got more, you've always got more time than you think, sorry, as a batsman. But you don't in T10 cricket. If you take 2 or 3 overs, now, Joe Clark, to get your eye in, you're suddenly way behind the run rate, and you need to go crazy.
Look, absolutely. I mean, you think another 2 overs, you're in the 7th over, and boom, you've got 3 overs left, 18 deliveries left, and you've got to go at maybe 14, 15 and over at that point.
Yeah.
Never going to be easy.
It's all about keeping the boundaries up. You need to hit 1 or 2 per over, all the way through your 10 overs to keep up with a run rate or set a big total. I just think if the Tigers here just try and turn the scoreboard over slowly for too many balls, they could find themselves in a spot of bother. They still have 9 wickets in hand. All of a sudden the boundaries have dried up, seem hard to come by.
Well, you just got to think that at some point in the future, you will have cricketers who look at a target of 110 overs and think, listen, you know what that is? That's 10 sixes, 10 fours, 20 deliveries out of 60. And that's what we're going to do. Pretty similar to what Karen Pollard was doing yesterday when he was trying to chase, where he was trying to think, okay, listen, I'm going to take most of the strike of the remaining 12, 15 deliveries and try and hit 6, 7 sixes. And I think that will be a strategy that will come into play quite a bit as this game evolves.
I think you're right. Well, here's one of those sixes. Cottrell just misses his hole. Smashed by Zazai. High and far over deep mid wicket.
But Zaza has just been wowing us, hasn't he? 30 of 16 again. Just moves that front leg a little to the leg side just so that he can have a clean swing of the bat. No restriction.
It's just no nonsense, isn't it? High back, short follow through. Like a golfer hitting the ball into the wind,
listen,
keeping it low.
It's simple cricket. It's not complicated. I'll see the ball, I'll hit the ball. If it's in my zone, in my area, I'm going to smash it.
The old-fashioned reply from the...
It's been a very good start by the Bangla Tigers. 50 of just 5 overs. They need another 51 of 5. Shouldn't be a very, very task. The way at the moment Jazai is going, he's batting beautifully. He's played some terrific shots so far. 31 of just 17 deliveries. Danny?
Yeah, that's what it's about, isn't it? Entertainment to the max. He's striking at 182. It's 3 fours, 2 maximums. And he's beautifully set here. Tracked another 51. Well, that's a peach. Channe, like this.
A bit of movement.
Yeah.
That's a good delivery. All ins beaten there. Jazai. He is eyeing the big boundaries. He's not worried about the 1s and 2s. He's not interested in them. And hence, we have seen 14 dot balls so far out of those 5.1 overs. But every time he gets it in the zone, it goes out of the park.
He's just one of those guys, isn't he, that has that ability to play catch-up, if you like. And I know I'm making a big comparison here, but a certain Christopher Henry Gale, and he too, like a strong left-hander,
even if he got behind the rate a little bit, it sort of didn't fluster him too much. And then you look at the way this guy can play, and whether it is playing sort of more orthodox or in his own unique way. And then you've got Lewis, so you have the two lefties that can smash it to all parts. And it's interesting here when you've looked at the way the Tigers bowled with pace off early and went with spin as opposed to these guys. And then you see pace on the ball, this is what you can do. And it makes it very difficult for the fielding side when there's a lot of pace on the ball to try and pull it back and hold things.
Yeah, very cheeky. Very, very cheeky from Clark, just trying to play that reverse lap. Was a slow delivery, picked it early, shot third, and full use of it. Beautifully executed shot. Thinking about the shot is different, but to be able to execute it that nicely is as important.
Well, they're going about what you've got in the locker, and you've got to practice it a lot, don't you? So you want to bring all your tools, as it were. Nice cue in this. It hasn't carried. Look, I was on with Nick Compton just a little while ago, and the first innings, and it's fascinating to be here a lot. And yes, there's a tinge of green in the surface, but at times it just feels to me a little bit dry.
Yeah.
And if you had just a little bit, it's a tricky thing, I get it, because we're here in the desert, of course, and the winds and everything, about getting the moisture content, the moisture levels correct for a pitch that could slide on.
A good delivery again. Yorker length, and exactly right. Sometimes you've seen that sponginess in the pitch where the ball is stopping. It makes it so much harder for the batter to get under the ball or get hold of that delivery. And we have seen that on a few occasions so far. But yeah, the execution on that occasion, the Yorker was perfect.
Well, Abby, it comes back to guys wanting to bowl back end of a length because there is that two-pace nature in it. And so tennis ball bounces, off cutters, into the surface, leg cutters, all of that, then makes it tricky to play your shots. And so I understand that, but yeah, when you... We'll come back to that. It's 6 done, 57 for 1 here.
It's fine.
Bowling change, right arm over.
Abhishek, have you been there? Have you been in there?
Not yet.
The coin building.
It looks beautiful. Stunning, actually.
Yeah, great architecture.
Yeah. The architecture we see in this part of the world is just unbelievable, mind-blowing stuff.
Yeah, we're talking just before the ad break, and you think about it, pace on, pace off, and the two-pace nature of the surface at times. But yeah, I just wonder, and there's always that fine line here because the heat, the dust, the sand, the nature of the ground that is here is that desired. So yeah, and you want it to be a bit slicker and come on ideally. But again, therein lies the challenge. You know, you're on a subtly different playing strip as opposed to the one on pitch 5. This is pitch 7. And it can be that much trickier when it's natural light, the heat, as opposed to under lights, and it gets a little bit cooler as we appreciate, and then the ball possibly does slide on better. So again, the different amount of totals in the day game versus those in the evening can be quite substantial.
Absolutely, yeah. And also when you're watering it, it's so important to get it right, as you mentioned, to get the moisture level to be absolutely right, where the ball skids on rather than stopping and having that tennis ball bounce is so important. I think the ground staff does a wonderful job being in a desert, as you mentioned. It's not an easy job to do, but you've got to give them a lot of credit.
Yeah, and again, I was just going to also elaborate on when you're at an auction and buying players to have the balance of your side and where you're playing the tournament, which all of it's here, Zion. So again, looking here at the Samp Army, you just wonder whether a couple of other spin bowling specialists to be in, I know it's their first outing, to be in the lineup for the Samp Army, just pace off the ball with spin specialists I'm on about.
Yeah, finger spinners are always in demand in this format, and we haven't seen a lot so far. We have seen a lot of left armers. We have seen few bowlers bowling off spin, but we haven't really seen. Yesterday we saw Hot Zuglu, and he's done exceptionally well. Leg spinners always make so much harder for the batters in this format, and it's always a challenge. At the moment, this over has been pretty good. Only 2 runs so far of the first 4 deliveries from Andrew Nokia.
Yeah, and that's why he's up there, isn't he? He's one of the leading bowlers in white ball cricket, particularly whether it's T20 or T10. And in hot demand and keen to get here. I mean, just listening to colleagues earlier, Abhishek, that South Africa clearly didn't have a good time of it, the recent ICC Men's T20 World Cup. But this guy on screen, it was the standout, really.
Absolutely. Just going to be 1 run. Again, a good over after 7 overs is 60 for 1. It's not going to be easy. 41 required of just 18 deliveries. What do you think, Danny?
Well, when you bowl those, doesn't help the cause, does it? Yeah, well, the Tigers, that's why I was fascinated at the toss of the coin. In terms of setting a total, and then in this tournament, it runs on the board, and I know Shakib would have seen, oh, look, it's a bit green and what have you, but it runs on the board. And then you're backing it up here. So, yeah, the Tigers, well, they had the choice. Shakib had the choice of what to do.
Also, maybe another way of thinking about it, that he wanted to see if his team can do both. That's also a way of finding out that early on in the tournament, that can we try and win a game by chasing and batting first. So, yeah, if they won the first game, that could be another option of the way he thought about it. But, yeah, you're absolutely right. First game when you won the toss and chose to bat and won it quite easily, to choose to field.
Otherwise, yeah, like you're looking at it, and it's pretty much 14s, but it's not impossible, and that's the beauty, because you've got Zazai, he's there, and he's 35 from 25, and all of a sudden, you have that 1 over, don't you? It disappears for 20 or even 25, and it's a different world.
Absolutely. They still have plenty of wickets. They've got 9 wickets and a lot of batting to come. I think there's a couple of boundaries, and things will ease up a little bit.
Oh, dear. 3 wides in the over, so really we've still only had 1 legitimate delivery, and it's frustrating. And Pretorius as well, he's a very good cricketer. Seen a bit of him on the circuit with white ball short format, so yeah, just shows you just that's the hint of what you're trying to do, and maybe you're not quite in the groove and you're trying to do too many things with the ball.
Straight into the hands. That is straight into the hands, and the batter will have to go back. His plan worked eventually after bowling 3 wides. Pretorius picking up his 2nd wicket. Just gone for 6 so far of his first 8 deliveries, and that's a big wicket. Zazai is out.
Yeah, just look at that front foot, that's fine. Yeah, this is his ploy. He wants to go wide. He wants to make Zazai fetch. And you still look, 2 for 6. And here we are giving him a bit of stick about his radar, and he's bowled 3 wides. Doesn't matter when this sort of thing happens. So Zazai has to go. 35 from 26. And the Tigers lose their 2nd at 63.
Oh, another slower delivery. Wanted to play a big one, getting it just over that infield. Mid-on was inside the 30-yard circle. Lucky there. Munro went for the big shot in the very first delivery. But very good execution again from Pretorius, bowling a slower delivery.
Yeah, as I mentioned, so I've seen a bit of him on the circuit. He's a very good thinker of the game. And he stuck with it. Yes, he bowled a few wides, but in the end he got his man. And now you've got Munro, who's come out at number 4. When he usually tends to open over his career, open will bat the first 3. So here he is outside of that area now. He's batting at 4. Check out another wide, but sort of like, yeah, it still look bang on 14s. Not impossible, as you were saying, Abhishek. But yeah, Clarkey, look at him. He's gobbled up 10 deliveries for 9. Oh, hey. I just wonder, this is tight because there's Munro shuffled a little to the offside. Let's have a look. Where's Munro go? Watch Munro. He's gone over the offside. He's gone to the offside.
Yeah.
These
That's a tough call.
Young umps getting experience.
Outstanding. Absolutely outstanding from Pretorius. Yes, we have said he's bowled 5 wides in this over already, but if you look at his figures, it still says 10 deliveries, just gone for 10 runs and picked up 2 very, very important wickets of Zazai and Lewis.
Yeah, and you'd take that any night of the week, wouldn't you?
Absolutely.
Look at that. Not far away from that off pole. Very good Yorker.
There's been a lot of swing, but no ding so far.
Yes, yeah, and that's the thing, isn't it? It's interesting here, just with the breeze and the way it is. Again, it's the prevailing breeze here that comes into our faces and sort of over that shoulder, the right shoulder of Pretorius, and angles down to third man with a right-hander on strike. So, yeah, you get a little bit of curve, and if you get the length right, give it a chance to swing. That's been good to see.
His execution has been just brilliant, and he's bringing the deep cover fielder inside the 30-yard circle. So all the fielders are outside on the leg side. 4 fielders outside the 30-yard circle.
Oh, it's gone straight up. JC's there, Johnson Charles. Not going to drop that one. And it is a big, big moment in this run chase because Clark, he's taken 11 deliveries to get 9, and he's not going to get any more.
The last 2 overs have been absolutely game-changing for the Armies. This is again a great execution, slow delivery with 4 fielders on the onside, all on the boundary. He wanted to take that option, Clark, but nowhere close to it. Top edge is straight to the keeper, an easy catch for the keeper. 68 for 3 after 8 overs. Tigers. And Joe Clark out for 9 of 11 deliveries. .33 of 12. This is going to be very interesting here. It's gone. That is going to go a long, long way. Great shot from Colin Munro. Got hold of that one, was in the slot, and he made it very, very hot.
I'll tell you what, that took an age to come down. Not only has it gone for 6, but my word, it went so high. A lot of bottom hand for sure. Man, what a good strike. What a great way to start the over. So now the pressure, Georgie Boygarten has disappeared for the maximum first up. Oh. Was interesting, a little change of pace ball. Some good cutters, does George Garten. This one, I thought for a moment, was going to be down the throat, a long off.
It was a good delivery again, as he said. Again, rolling the wrist over the delivery, not trying to give any pace to the batters. He knows that they want some pace. 26 required of 10.
Well, Erin Holland, sideline, is going to be a little nervous. The heart will be pounding a bit more and the adrenaline surging with her husband at the crease. Ben cutting now for the Tigers. Another night that goes onto the poles. Little inside edge. And it could have so easily gone onto the poles.
Again, a good change-up. Was a little delivery. He wanted to get hold of it. Just didn't get any bat involved. Another dot delivery. Every dot delivery is like gold. 23 dots with that one. That is unbelievable. Out of 8.3 overs, 23 dots.
Naughty, naughty. Cutting gets underway. And the good thing from a Tigers perspective is now that Munro gets back on, who's hitting it quite cleanly. 10 from 5 with a maximum. So we've got 2 to go here in the 9th. Now this, in a way, needs to disappear. This is that penultimate over. This is like the 19th over in a T20, where you really want to go big and make the 20th not so stressful. But hey, it's nearly 19s. 25 of 8. Uh-oh.
He must be thinking 4 sixes here.
Hurrah! It's, again, smart bowling, field set, so he's gone into the surface and not tried to allow Munro to go downtown, who's so good at either going over mid-wicket with a pick-up, straight in a wide V, over extra cover as well, slashing, cutting. He's got a lot of stroke play of 360, but now you've got Ben Cutting, who also loves to hit a long ball.
Yeah, again, a good change-up. Was, again, a slower delivery, good length into the body, didn't allow him any room. After 9 overs, it's 78 for 3 Tigers. .23 required of the last over. Smashed it. Smashed it. Beautiful shot from Cutting's bat. Boundary of the first ball. A bit of pressure off for the batter, but pressure on for the bowler.
Yeah, 23 asking. Now it's 19 from 5. And Ben Cutting, with all his experience, he has been around the globe in a lot of franchise T20 cricket, of course now with T10. And he's a man for the moment. He's really ideal to be in with Munro.
Great execution. Great execution of that Yorker from Jannat. That's exactly what they needed. They needed a good delivery, a comeback delivery from Jannat, and that's exactly what he has produced here. 18 of 4. Boundaries, boundaries. It's all about that.
Yeah, and you can't get underneath this. Absolutely cracking full-length Yorker. And Jannat, that is the posse to be, my friend. It's another one of those, thanks, up against the left-handed Munro.
Yeah. I think if he's got that skill, if he can execute those Yorkers, he's got to go for a Yorker. Don't try anything different. Just go for a full delivery here again.
He does, and you're right. Well spotted, Abhishek. Yeah, and again, even though we get the field set with the 3rd and fine up, people go, oh, he's a bit bluffing and a bit risky to go full. Well, you're not. If you're really good at executing that Yorker, and that's what you've got to be, that's your job in a way, and you're a specialist, then those 3 things sticking in the ground, and whether you're going to hit midland leg or you want to hit off, yes, batters move around the crease, and yes, they can squeeze you out and scoop you possibly, but then if they're scooping you, then you've missed your length. Really.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you got cover down the ground, long off, long on, and so the Yorker, if you dig it out, even if you hit it cleanly, you've still got that good protection. So I like the field and I like the strategy. Now that fine leg inside the circle is going to go, is he? Yeah, is it Pretorius? Yeah. And cover point on the fence has come up to inside the circle. It's closed down that angle on the offside. No, went wide. It's not a wide because, yeah, Cutting did cut across. got the dancing shoes on, went outside leg and then went outside off, and he's not happy about it, but it's the right call.
Very, very good delivery again, and just a clarity of thoughts. You can see that the bowler's got a plan. He knew exactly what he was doing, and he kept his eye on the batter till the very end. Saw him moving outside the off stump, changed his plan, and went wider. Very smart. And here again, a short delivery. Four fielders on the boundary on the leg side. That's a very good delivery, and you've got to give a lot of credit here. It's been just absolutely brilliant bowling performance so far from them, and they could be very, very pleased. After getting 100 on board, it wouldn't have been easy to come out there and protect that target.
Yeah, they just got to 3 figures, didn't they?
Yeah.
Bang on 100 did Samp Army, and it's been good enough. Well done, gents.
Absolutely brilliant. Outstanding cricket from the Samp Army. They will be so, so pleased. They'll be very pleased. Great start for them in this tournament. First time they've played in the T10, and to start with the winning run is just brilliant. Tigers would be a bit disappointed. They won the toss. They had the option to bat first, put pressure, put runs on board, but they chose to field and didn't work well for them. Danny.
No, and that's the beauty of this tournament. You could say, well, you only just got 100, so, you know, we've seen what happened last night, but again, it's a different pitch. So a different 22 yards can dictate how you go about things. And we thought, well, you know, spin, and, you know, again, from the Tigers, when they restricted the Samp Army to that, you thought, uh-oh, probably not enough. But it just goes to show you play together and pull together as a bowling unit. For me, the standout there, clearly Pretorius, with his 3 for, was he got 3 for 11? Quite outstanding. And so I think he'll be my player of the match.
100%. I think he changed the whole course of the game, the way he executed his plan. Yes, he gave a lot of extras, he bowled a lot of wides, but he had a very, very clear plan. He came out there and executed it, and yeah, hence it's been a very good bowling performance from the Samp Army, and they will be very, very pleased with this performance, and so will be the coach and the management.
Yeah, and Jeanette, he's useful too. He went to 14 off 2, so yeah, very respectful in terms of T10. So yeah, well done. So everyone's chipped in terms of that bowling performance. So hence the high fives and celebrating. Johnson Charles, gloves on, happy camper. So Tigers played 2, won 1, lost 1, and yeah, again, things to think about, strategies. What are you doing first? Once again, side batting first, putting runs on the board. Might have only been 100, but it was good enough by 15.
It's been a difficult run chase for every team which has tried to go out there and chase the total down. It's been difficult.